Hey team, welcome back! Today, we're gonna make this beautiful winter mountain scene. So let's dive in. It's painting time!
Be ready, grab a brush.
Give me a hell! Give me a yeah! Let's paint right now!
So, as you saw, today's painting is going to have a big ol' majestic sky with dynamic puffy clouds. Beans. Cool ones. Man, shoot. I remember when I first started painting, I went to a workshop at the VA that featured a professional artist. This was my first time painting, and he was my very first instructor. Although, to be fair, he wasn't really my instructor. He was a guided painting guy. You know, those social gatherings popular now where people bring wine and paint and have a good old time? Well, mine was at the VA, so no drinking. But it was a bunch of vets hanging out and painting. Anyway, so there I was, no shit, and before I even had my first brushstroke on canvas, I heard the instructor say to us,
Painting clouds is hard. You will have a hard time painting clouds. Know why? 'Cause they're hard. You will have trouble with your clouds, 'cause they ain't easy.
and you know what? He got in my head. And for the longest time, I thought my clouds were terrible.
Oh, what's the matter? Truth hurts, man? I told you, clouds are hard, and you will have difficulty with them.
So then he went on to explain the correct way to paint clouds.
You paint clouds like this. Go ahead and do my bidding. No. That isn't how you paint clouds. You paint clouds like this. Your clouds are more like this.
Yep, he would go around and tell people how to paint clouds. This is my first time painting, guys. All I had seen before was a couple shows on PBS with Bob Ross.
Who said that? Who dare bring up the roast? Painting for the people. Meh, says I. The joy of painting is when you do it right. And let me show you what right looks like. It looks like this.
I love Bob. Everyone loves Bob. You know, this is a judgment-free zone here in the studio, but I'm gonna go ahead and proclaim, if you don't like Bob Ross, I don't know if we're gonna get along. So, after rolling his eyes and telling people how clouds get done, I came away learning one thing.
That clouds are hard because they're hard.
Hey, give it a rest, bro. I'm trying to talk to the people.
Sorry.
But yeah, kind of. I came away thinking that clouds are hard.
But they are.
Nah, clouds aren't hard. Just don't overblend and watch your colors.
But that's hard.
Come on. It's only hard if your inner critic takes over and you are overcritical of your work. Don't get me wrong, I think it's absolutely imperative to look at your own art and to make judgments about it. Be honest. Do you like it or does it displease you? Okay, now why? And then you can take action and correct whatever thing you think needs a little more time, a little more work. As I've found in almost everything, balance is needed. So try to be cool and don't be mean to yourself.
But painting is hard.
It absolutely can be, but it's a challenge. But one thing is for sure, someone telling you how a thing needs to be painted is setting up a bad dependency. I think the best part about painting is the style that reveals itself and becomes the hallmark of that particular painter. I think one of the best compliments someone can give a painter is when they walk into a room full of paintings and they know which one you painted. That's super cool. Problem is, if you are told how to paint something as opposed to being told the techniques of painting, then you are suppressing your own style, your own certain je ne sais quoi. Also, as in my case, the well-meaning instructor got inside my head and I became critical of my own clouds.
But you were doing it wrong.
No, I wasn't. Know how I know? Because they were immediately recognizable as clouds. And isn't that the important part? I painted what I saw, not what the instructor wanted me to see and paint.
But painting is hard and I'm no good at it. As in, you're no good at it.
Would you stop? Anything worth doing is hard, and yes, there is a sharp learning curve. That takes time to get around. So what? It's rewarding. Go get 'em, team. I've said it before, and I will say it again. The world will never, ever be too full of beauty that your unique contribution won't be welcome.
I never said that.
I know, but by being critical and setting up unrealistic standards, you're stifling people's creativity. Probably not on purpose, but the best teachers will inspire you to create your own thing and inspire you to think for yourself. Not set up rigid rules and tell you what to think, or to relate it back to the subject at hand, tell you how to paint. Alright, enough of that. I've talked enough for now. But I would like to add one last thing before I zip my lips and listen. Alright, so team, check it out. I write all the music for this channel because I had to have music for these videos, so why not write my own? Oh, and also, I don't know how or where to put license agreements, and I don't want to get dinged by YouTube because someday, I will monetize. Not gonna be this year, apparently. Thanks, new algorithm. Anyway, long story longer, I had a blast doing it and got some good feedback. So now I post all the music I write for this channel on my music channel, Studio 214 Music. Links are in the description. Check it out, would ya? Here's a sweet taste of my new sick cut. Hope y'all enjoy. Let me know in them there comments. That was amazing, guys. Now back to the topic at hand. So, I struggled with clouds at first. Not because they were no good, but because I thought they were no good. Because my very first painting group guy got in my head. Hey.
What? It's funny.
Anyways, so the crazy thing is, he also got in my head in the exact opposite way for a different common object found in most paintings.
What? Trees? Trees are easy. They get painted like this. See? Too easy.
Do that again. Paint a pine tree.
Pine trees? Those are easy. Paint it like this. Too easy, Greg. Come on, man.
Yeah. See how fast that goes? Getting trees to look like I want them to work isn't simple. Each brushstroke has to be deliberate and well placed with the right color. And eventually you can build up speed, but not at first. And I didn't get that because I thought they were easy and you could just throw them in.
That's easy.
Stop it. No, it isn't. Not at first. And well, he got in my head. Again. Come on, bro.
That's funny.
You're a real monster, you know that? A monster.
Oh, did I hurt your feelings? I told you painting's hard.
Nah, you're right. It's a little funny. So he got into my head, and when I went to go paint trees, I thought, good golly, this should be easy. Why aren't they looking good?
Yeah. Why aren't they looking good? Trees are easy. Clouds are hard.
You know what? That's... Woo! You're gonna get it? That is enough of that nonsense. Come on now. Every time I went to go paint trees, I didn't take it seriously and didn't take the time to fail and refine my technique. I just sort of threw them in. Like in this painting. Wham bam! In they go.
Dang. That's messed up, bro.
He didn't mean anything by it, just, I don't think. But the end result was that I thought my clouds were terrible when they weren't, and my trees were good because they were easy when they weren't.
Dang, Greg. You're all mixed up, man. Damn.
Yep, but that's okay. I now know what's up, and when it's time to get down, I know what to do and what to work on. I guess in the end, clouds are neither hard nor are they easy, and trees are the same way. If I had to do it all over again, I would have put the same amount of attention to my trees as I did for my clouds. If I did that, maybe I'd be sitting pretty. Maybe not. Maybe something else would have been a hang-up for me. What is y'all's experience? Did you ever have an art teacher say something like that to you? Did it mess you up and get in your head like it did me? Could you shrug it off and paint boldly? Comment section is open. Let it fly. Oh, so check it out. Rocks. Rocks I've not had a problem with.
That's because they're easy.
Quiet, you. No more interruptions. You hear me?
Sorry. I'll behave.
Cool. So rocks. Yes. Rocks, rocks, rocks. My saving grace. Sometimes. Usually. I use rocks as an artifice. Well, usually anyways. I use them as eye magnets that lead your eye, the viewer's eye, to the central focal point. A lot of times, good eye magnets in proper value, as well as ample use of strategery and where I place the roads or streams or the limbs of a branch, will allow you to not have to make your focal central point all obvious, because all of them things usually all point or lead the viewer's eye straight up to the point of central focal. But more on that later. In this painting, I'm going to use the rocks to reinforce the flanks, because there's going to be an area of interest running down the bottom center, pointing up to where the focal central point is located, right on them there mountains. Then, with a few trees on the right, that side is locked up. I wanted something there that braced the eye on the side, allowing for nothing out of the ordinary to be taking place on that side. See how each side of the painting has trees? That way, if you want to look at them, you will, but not before your attention is drawn to the point of central focal. Then I gotta get those rocks into the painting. I do this with highlighting the grassy area around each one. I don't want to cover up too much of the shadow color, but I do want it to be nice and vibrant. So, saturated color with high value. That way you will be drawn to the center. It's shades of green, so it isn't as exciting as, say, red would be. And hey, that's not a bad idea. If you notice, there's no red in this painting. Not yet, anyway. I really want to use red wisely here. Wherever I put it, the viewer's eye will immediately track to it. I can fix this by dropping the value and saturation of red way down, but if I do that, then the color would lose its punchy quality that will make whatever I paint it on stick out. And that's what I want. I want to use red strategically. So maybe I'll use my red, cad red medium hue that is, on my central point of focal to really draw the eye towards it. Yep, that works. Problem is that I don't want to have it compete with anything else, so I'm thinking that the flowers need to go. I think a path would be lovely right down the center, and it will lead your eye up to where it will catch the red on the mountains. In hindsight, I should have thought of this sooner and put a touch of red in the clouds so that the red in the mountains would make more sense. I mean, I think it does now. Some sunlight is hitting the mountain, making it look like it's on fire. Nice, but it could have been reinforced with a little bit of red, just a little bit in the clouds. For next time. Yeah, I'm using burnt umber and titanium white and working that path. I like my paintings, especially my landscapes, to have a glimpse of human activity. And I think this path is perfect for that. Leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but memories and photos. It's late winter, early spring, so I want the path to look wet, like the ice and snow has just melted and the way forward is damp. And then with my fan brush, I'm going to put in the final details. What I do is stand back at a distance of a few feet, 4 or 5, and take in the whole canvas and see where needs more attention, and if I got the light right. If not, I take action and put it what needs putting in. I look where the sun would hit and try to match the colors on both sides of the canvas. Well, team, I think that is enough. I think we are done. What a good time. I had fun, did you? Well, alright. New videos every Thursday on both channels. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And be notified when new videos come out, so you will be kept up to date with all the new silliness. Thanks for watching, team. As for me, I'm going to the house. For Studio 214, I'm Greg. See you next time.